Me, you're the only one I need. Can't nobody make me feel the way you're making me feel.
Check it out, y'all. This your boy Charles Gregory with the beautiful
LaurenSizzle.
Now check this out, man. I like that song. King Combs in the building. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
He took his dad's name, so I appreciate that.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
And so we have we're gonna jump right into this interview with someone with whom I had a tremendous amount of respect for. I was gonna do this long, drawn out kind of like bio, but we short on time, and I really want to get this brother's perspective and his point of view into it. Now, this brother, when I tell you he has a long track record of just dynamic perspectives and opinion. You know, he's been a good friend of mine for a long time, man. He seen me as I came up through Temple. You know, you're talking about someone who was in the hood and it actually knows what's going down, but very knowledgeable. You know, I really have a lot of respect for this brother and has a dynamic perspective and point of view. Author. You know, I'm gonna just leave it there, and we're gonna talk a little bit about that. We got my man King Fax in the building, Tony Dphax King, however you want to do it, author extraordinaire, real estate, everything. So what's good, my brother? What's good?
I'm just honored to be here, man. I thank you for the invitation.
I appreciate you.
I'm
brother.
very proud of how comfortable you are on the microphone.
No doubt.
I like the name of the show too.
Right.
We Talk Weekly,
We
and
talk
also the names of everybody here.
no
They
doubt.
got a ring to it.
Fantastic.
Sparkle, sizzle. I mean, it's got the
S
right.
dot.
It has the right. It's a soup with the right ingredients, you know, and all that's needed is somebody with a big commercial contract or something. I don't know.
I know that's right. Well, if you see him, send them our way.
I like
You
it.
know, that's what we love.
But I already told you I wanted to do that.
I know, no doubt.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, we're gonna make this
So,
happen. I
But
appreciate you, my brother.
also I'm a little nervous because if you know I love to talk,
Absolutely.
but I want to be accurate. That's what makes me nervous.
Understood.
You
Well,
know,
let's jump
yeah.
right into it because I know that you're like a historian when it comes to certain things, and you do a lot of research and you do a lot of, I mean, you're just a fact checker, fact searcher, and this is what you do. That's why I appreciate you. But I want to jump because we only have a little bit of
I know, I
time, and I want to
understand.
jump right into some of the topics now. I know you heard our last piece with Bill Cosby.
Yes.
And I know, I had a long list of things I wanted to talk to you about, but let's jump right into that because that transitioned into kind of like the Me Too movement and just kind of, what people are classifying black men with having toxic masculinity, and I hate the word toxic masculinity. I studied hypermasculinity, and that's kind of like true to the term. But let's talk a little bit about just Bill Cosby right now. And just,
Well, I did. First of all, the whole is a tragedy for me.
Yeah.
Because you're a Temple alum.
Absolutely.
I'm a Temple alum.
Yeah, right.
And Cosby was the biggest Temple alum that we have.
Yes, facts. Yep.
And I didn't want to see that mountain fall.
Right.
Now who do we tout
Right.
as
right.
every school has like their celeb
Right.
celeb
Alum.
alum.
Mm-hmm.
And Cosby was and that when they attacked Cosby, they attacked me. That's how I see it.
Right.
And the other thing, I'm upset with Cosby
Right.
because I feel he should not even have been here in the United States wearing the target on his back. Unfortunately, this is the kind of country that once you receive a certain amount of fame, once you receive a certain amount of wealth, you have to find yourself a cave outside of this country. He should not have been rolling around on a stage making people laugh. He should have been somewhere where you needed a canoe and a donkey to find him.
Let's talk a little bit about that then. So, so I don't want to take away from the victims, right? And sometimes, or oftentimes, when you try to give the other side of it, people kind of target you as being a victim shamer or saying that you're not considering the victims, right? So I do want to acknowledge that that there are some victims, right? But I want to talk a little bit about, because you say he shouldn't be here, right?
Right.
Could that have happened anywhere, so to speak? You know what I mean? It doesn't matter. And if you are successful, does that mean, and I go into you traveling because that's one of my other things, because you do a lot of traveling.
Yeah.
But if you become successful, does that mean you supposed to or you need to leave?
When you're like Cosby, he's like American icon.
Right.
He's not just, quote, successful. He's an American icon. And this is also politically motivated.
Right.
Somebody's going to run for senator in the next couple years. I took down the great Cosby.
Yeah, that judge is.
You
he's
see what I'm
running.
trying to say? That's what this is all about. And number two, victim doesn't show up to your door with flowers and bubble bath,
Right.
and stuff like this. Okay, there's a lot of like political motivation, and like you said, OJ got away, and we're not going to let him get away.
Right.
The other mistake was, why are you having federal judges that personally told me don't have a hearing? Not in Montgomery County, because the jurors are going to come from Montgomery County. Right. Tony, don't have a hearing, just settle. So why would he have a hearing in Montgomery County?
Right.
Why would he risk that? Why would his attorneys risk that?
Right.
Something should have happened to avoid this, because this woman was also paid a couple $1 million.
3.4.
You see,
Right.
took the money and came back and got him again. It's just so much. This is a witch hunt.
Right.
You know what I mean? But he's vulnerable because he's just a wealthy, famous black guy.
Right.
It could never happen to Trump.
Who said grab him?
Teflon Trump, but could never happen to a guy like Trump.
Right.
But anyway, I feel like I'm veering off.
No, it's fine. It's fine, because I guess my next question would then be, where do we go from here, right? So now they locked up a legend. They locked up an icon, as you stated. Where do we go from here with regarding kind of like what's going on with acknowledging people who are being certain ways to women, who are to a degree they're pretty much saying they're being sexually harassed and taken advantage of. Where do we go from here as men, especially as black men?
Well, the Me Too movement has a lot of issues. The biggest complaint about Me Too movement is undefined.
What do you mean?
It's undefined. It doesn't have like a real clear goal. You know what I mean? It doesn't have like a real clear goal, and that's what the feminists say. The feminists say that. The other problem is that it seems to be like a hybrid. It's about sexual harassment and assault, but then Tarana Burke heads a gender equality group called Just Be, and it's tackling obstacles like sexism, homophobia, transphobia. Right. You see what I mean? But she spearheaded the Me Too, and now she's into homophobia, transphobia. Mm. It's got tentacles that, I could say a lot about the Me Too movement, but
so we talked about homophobia, transphobia, and all that. We talked about women as it relates to Me Too. What about men who have become victims? What are your take on Me Too as it relates to
well,
men?
Society thinks that's a joke. Okay. How can you be a victim as a man? They laugh at you. Mm-hmm. You try an average guy try reporting that you are Me Too. They're gonna laugh. They're gonna smirk. They're gonna laugh at you. Like, come on, get out of here. You know what I mean? And on the subject of toxic masculinity, if you're not toxic masculine, then you're gay. You know what I mean? You know,
the perception.
Yeah, right. I
perception,
mean,
right.
I mean, they want you to be this way or you're that way. You cannot be in between. You know what I mean? You can't be a male and you happen to like fashion.
Right.
Because liking fashion means you're gay.
Right.
You see what I mean? You can't be a male, a good male, strong, and look clean, well groomed, well manicured.
Right.
You see what I mean?
Yeah.
Not in American society. Now in other countries, yes, but American society, you know, they only understand a certain type of man.
Right. And I would agree with you. And even myself, I have been, you know, people have assumed certain things about me because I'm in fashion until you don't meet me. That can't be, you know, that type of thing. But let's talk a little bit about, because you spoke a lot about just America and where you shouldn't be, which is a great transition to a degree when it comes to you and your traveling, and you leave a lot.
Yeah, but I don't want to say particularly where I go and
right,
stuff.
that's fine. We don't have to talk about where you go, but I do want to talk about and why I want to talk to you specifically about just kind of like gender relations and male and female, because you have a big or a dynamic position on American women versus where you go.
Yes.
Right, so I just want to explore that a little bit.
You told me you want the topic of relationship, women's responsibility,
right,
in relationship,
right.
I kind of wrote down two answers to that. Number one, women in general have a responsibility. Their responsibility in relationships. Number one, in general, is simple. You know, especially if you come at it in a biblical way, which is there to be the helper of the man.
Okay.
Man's helper.
Right.
But in a relationship by relationship perspective,
right,
the woman's responsibility has to be tailor-made. You know what I mean?
Right.
It has to be tailor-made to fit that relationship. Okay. You know what I mean? Likes and dislikes and stuff like that. But in general, the umbrella is the woman's supposed to help the man.
So what's the man's responsibility?
Well, that wasn't his question.
So that would be a good transition then. You know, so what would you think? You know, the man's responsibility.
Well, the man's responsibility.
If we talk a partnership, right? In a relationship, right? Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but the man's responsibility, in my opinion, and this may be considered toxic masculinity.
Okay.
You know,
yeah,
to do his best to provide, to do his best, and it may not be, you know, what the woman wants or what the society thinks is the best, or. But his job is to do his best that he can to provide and lead and counsel the psychologist, the lawyer, all of that in the family.
So what's the difference, or why do you believe that American women has a challenge with falling, I guess, to your point, under that umbrella, you know, versus, you know, women that's not from America or in America?
Well, I think what happened is a lot of things happened. I mean, there was explosions of all sorts.
Okay.
You know what I mean? There was the sexual revolution. Then there was the industrial revolution. You know what I mean? Then the two income family revolution. Right. You know what I mean? A lot of things disrupted that. You know what I mean? You know, birth control, the pill, the automobile. I mean, it changed, it changed the way U.S. people are raised and how they think. You know, it also immigration. It's like this is a real melting pot. Different cultures coming in, and other cultures are more homogeneous. Genius. Excuse me, I can't pronounce. I mispronounced that, but. You know, in other cultures, want to maintain that.
Right.
They work at it. For example, in China,
Right.
they say no more than 10 movies from the United States a year. No more than no more than 10 movies. As a matter of fact, I met a guy from Saudi Arabia yesterday, and he's here on some kind of cultural exchange program.
Okay.
And full paid. Kingdom of Saudi Arabia is paying for it. He comes here, he meets people, study. They told him, if you get married, you lose everything.
Wow.
Don't marry an American. You're there to learn. You're there to help us. You learn what you can. You study. You master English. And you coming back to the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia to help this country. The moment that you marry a U.S. person, your $40,000 stipend a year goes up in smoke. So he's got $40,000 to spend to do whatever the hell he wants to do in the United States. And I told him that's more than most people working full time.
Right.
You know, but that's an example. He said the moment that he meets a woman or he can have sex with him, he can do whatever he wants.
Just can't marry one.
Just don't marry.
All right, because we only got this time goes so fast. We only got like 5 minutes left. Real quick, right? Because what we try to do here, We Talk Weekly, we give a platform, right? And we always say that, we give a voice to the people who doesn't have one, right? And sometimes I think it's necessary to not complain and have issues with certain issues and topics, but see how we can work and try to come with remedies and solutions. Right. And so with that said, how do you think, we can fix all of these issues that, men have in terms of masculinity or the women have in terms of, what can we do to fix? What do you believe Americans can do to fix that?
I wish I would have came more prepared. I wish you would have sent me that question.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because it's definitely not a question you can answer.
Right.
But I would say, the U.S. is the U.S. is such a two-headed dragon, and it's just it's so wide open. Right. It is hard to corral the herd back once they get out running in different directions.
So you think we can't fix it?
No. I mean, to be honest with you,
right.
I think that it has to start with each family.
Okay.
You know what I mean? It has to go back to basics.
I see. Okay.
That's the only way to solve what's going on. Go back to basics. Got to go back to the family. The family is the first unit in society.
Wow, unbelievable, man. We gonna
What
have
do
to
you
bring.
think? What do you think?
I think that you're probably right. I think everything starts with the family, and that's why I'm really big on. Although I'm a male, I won't sit here and say I'm all about just male issues.
Right. Yeah.
I'm not going to sit here, although I am an advocate for my sisters. I'm not going to say it's just women issues. Right. I'm for community, and I've always been that way. Right. I'm for like the community getting together, the family getting together to work these things out. Because if you only work one side, the other side going to have problems, right? And so together, I believe that we can start there. So I do believe that you're on point with, kind of like the family, starting with the family. So before we leave, where can they get in contact with you and find out about your book and all that good old stuff?
Amazon.
Yeah.
For everything, pretty much.
Okay. No doubt.
Remember the days when Amazon started just with books?
Right.
Wow. I wish I had stock
Tell
then.
the name of your book.
Too young to know, huh? Title of the book is Survival Guide for Single Men. Survival Guide for Single Men.
There you go. Survival
Sounds
Guide for Single Men. For what's the author name? So they know what to look up specifically.
King Dphax.
King Dphax. That's what you want to look up. That's the author. Survival Guide for
And it's very
Single
short, 100 pages.
There you go. So if y'all want to know, you want that guide, you better look that up.
But it's not a woman bashing book. When people hear Survival Guide for Single Men, they think, it's a woman bashing book. No, it's not. talking about how to survive the dating scene.
There
That's
you go.
it.
No doubt, no doubt. Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. It's your boy Charles Gregory with the beautiful.
LaurenSizzle.
And the beautiful.
Classy Lady Sparkle.
Check this out, y'all. We Talk Weekly After the Talk is now on iHeartRadio, iTunes, and Spotify. Make sure you follow us on iHeartRadio, iTunes, and Spotify, and binge listen to our shows. Like and follow us on We Talk Weekly's Facebook page. Download the little TuneIn app. Look for WPPM LP 106.5 FM and tune in every Tuesday, 7 p.m. for We Talk Weekly's After the Talk. Follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at We Talk Weekly, at Charles Gregory, at Lauren_Sizzle, at Sparkle Prices One. Subscribe to our We Talk Weekly YouTube channel. And if you're in Philly, catch us every Monday night, 9:30 on Comcast 66, Verizon Fios 2930. Download the little iFame TV app on Roku. And who do you look for?
We Talk Weekly.
Look for We Talk Weekly. Unfortunately, we got to go, ladies and gentlemen. You know I love you, man. You know I love you. You know I appreciate you. But we got to go, man. It was good. Why don't you take us out? Why don't you take us out with something, Lady Esther? I know you wasn't prepared for that. But I want you to take us out with something. What we going to go out with? Because we need some music before we have some more talented people come in on their show. Rihanna. We'll be right back, y'all. Hello.
Sex with me so amazing.